One of the interesting things when the canal started, it was done under wartime conditions as a whole backdrop to the unfinished business of the War of 1812. So what Boy needed at the time was a massive influx of labourers. And now there weren't many Irish in Bytown at the time. Most of them came in from Ireland. So the Irish in Bytown in 1826 were recent immigrants brought in on returning lumber ships to work on the canal. So the conditions here at the time would have been pretty rough, even by the standards of the day. And when we do the research on it and we look at the way it was set up by a military installation, hiring contractors, fast forward, bringing in all these workers who, by the way, were coming in from famine conditions in Ireland. They were pretty destitute. Now, at the time, the canal was done pick and shovel by hand. And if you look at this area here, where we are now today at Bytown Museum, and if you look at the hill, at the top of the hill, that's where the cut was. This was a big, giant kind of hill. It was hacked out by hand, but also used in black powder explosives. It was very dangerous. There was a lot of injuries, a lot of loss of life. The actual work conditions were brutal. No regard for safety. And then the conditions of the workers, they lived in, for instance, they lived in hovels where they cut into the side of the canal. They lived in shanty towns. So the daily tread was dangerous work, floods, water, all sorts of premature explosions, and then malaria and disease. Actually, to be quite honest with you, it's amazing. When people look at it today, you say it's amazing that how many survived it. A lot didn't. A lot died. But then we know a lot of were injured. There was, at the time, very low regard for a working person in 1826. So the canal took blood, sweat and tears of over 1,000 killed and died on it. We don't know their names, but we are honouring their memory. About 15 years ago, a group of us got together, ordinary people in town here, connected up at the Labour Council, the Irish Society and various heritage groups around town to erect a Celtic cross that was paid for by the community. It's written in 4 languages reflecting our community: English, French, Irish Gaelic and Algonquin, because we honour the native land we live on. Now every year at Colonel Boy Day or Bytown Festival, the Irish Society, the Labour Council and various people gather at the Celtic Cross and have a ceremony. Now it's also got into walking tours, it's getting into the guides. We feel it should get more into the historical section and more into the schools. There's work to do yet, but from where it was a few years ago, we are celebrating it. So that's my passion. Tell the story of those workers and honour those workers, and all of them, in turn, all of them. This country was built on the backs of immigrant workers, and the first of them were the Irish. And we're very proud of that. We shouldn't be, we honour them. People come down here from all over the world to see that story, because it resonates with what Canada is all about. And they were the first of their kind. Those hapless workers who died on this stretch here in 1826 were the first of their kind.